Hi everybody, welcome back to Vintage Story Nomad, episode 37 with me, Sid. And last episode we built this magnificent edifice. Isn't it gorgeous? No, it's practical and functional. It works. Or rather, it did work. It's worked fine for all of the bauxite, it's worked fine for a load of the quartz, and we've got a little bit of quartz left and some olivine. And for the last 2 in-game days, the wind has not risen above the level of a vapid fart. It has been like this now for 2 in-game days. And I've just been sat here for about 15-20 minutes, and the cat has not wanted to go out while I've not been talking. And the moment I still open my mouth, it starts scratching at the door. The world is out to get me. I'm going to go and find out who I register a complaint with and register a complaint. I want to talk to the management. Oh, look. Did we just get a little tiny, we got a puff. It went puff. Yeah. This is why on Vintage Story on the Rusty Gear server we won the Millwright mod. Because, oh look, strong breeze, oh, and gone again, moderate breeze. Oh look, you can see the quartz bits in there, they're waiting to be crushed. Come on, you can do it. Gentle breeze. I don't want a gentle breeze. I want a storm. I want this to go. I want it to spit through this lot. I want to get on with this. The steel in its own right is going to take an absolute age. I'm going to go and take my frustration out on these two hoofers, the blackguard monster thing. These guys are a little bit tough. Ow. Oh yeah, it is. Well, maybe I shouldn't have picked that fight. That was a little bit more than I anticipated. Maybe. Wow, I got a human skull for that. That was good. Woohoo! Right, I better heal. Well, that'll teach me to take my frustration out on the toughest of those mobs. Where's the last one? Are you still about? Are you still there? Hello? I'm going to have to do something and let that cat out in a minute. It's annoying me now. Alright, well, I am waiting for this wind to pick up. I wonder whether I can get away with this. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him well, Horatio. No, it doesn't really work with that. It doesn't hold it properly in the hand, does it? Okay. Take a hint, stay away. I'm not in a bad mood. Because this wind is just not playing ball at all. It's pathetic. Moderate breeze. A strong breeze, just a strong breeze would be fine. That would get me started. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. Alright, this is getting ludicrous. Been waiting for hours, but I've got a stack of each and I've got a little bit. I've just taken the rest out. The reason I don't want it running while I'm not here is it loses, it's lossy. And but we do need to make a start on this bloody stuff, because otherwise we're never going to get anywhere. Now, I did think about making another set of sails and another windmill rotor. The problem with that is I haven't got enough resin again, so yeah, and I'm not entirely sure that would actually help. So it's kind of, you know, damned if you do, damned if you don't territory. So I believe I need to go and get myself 2 stacks, 128 of fire clay. I'm probably going to have to go and find some fire clay as well, because I don't think I've got that much. Yeah, I've only got 71 more there, but this will make I believe. So that's tier 1, makes 3 of. That's tier 2, and we'll make 3 stacks. Now we are going to use that with our brick mould, which I need to remember where I put it. That's the next, because we have got a mod on here which is all about the bricky brick moulds, and I can't remember where it is. Let me have a look. It's a fairly obvious thing if you see it. Nope. Maybe downstairs or in one of these. Not there. Not there. Definitely not there. Absolutely not there. Not in that. Doubt it would be in the safe. Definitely wouldn't be there. Let's go down here. Somewhere in here there should be a brick mould, and I'm not seeing a brick mould. So a brick mould is a knife and planks. One, two, three, 4 Kniffy. So not too bad. I think we may have visitors. Hang on, let's go and have a look. Looks to be just the one. Let's go and see him off. We don't encourage unsolicited traders on this area, and he's only, at least he's not one of the blackguard variety, so there we go. This place is looking a bit like a war zone actually. There's skeletons everywhere. I don't know whether you can see very well from here, but just all down there, skeletons. So what do we do? Do we do that, or do we place it? Well, we place it. 2, 3. Wow, it's 3 per. So I'm going to get 64 bricks. I need 65 brick blocks. I am going to need a lot more fire clay, which means I'm going to have to hunt around my map. I'm also going to need to do a lot more grinding. Oh, hello. And then obviously these all need cooking. And we need mortar. Still needs to be done. Might as well get the first 64 underway, if nothing else. And then we can think now. I mean, yeah, we're going to have to use fire pits because we can't use the kilns because you need refractory bricks to make a kiln. So that's a thing. But yeah, steady progress. I'm going to have a look. I don't think I found any fire clay in this area. I seem to recall well, we can check it that way, that's an option, but we need to hunt round for fire clay basically, and that occurs under black coal as I recall as well. Ooh, some stuff up there as well. You see, there's lots of things we can go and do, so it's not like we're screwing ourselves with this. We are giving ourselves something to keep our minds active while we wait and try and get, you know, the wind slightly stronger than a semi-flatulent burp. I don't even know whether you can have a semi-flatulent burp, but if you can, that's what we have. Right, so we need to cook in a pit kiln. Now I think, did I do pit kilns around here? No. but we can do. Let's yeah, 3 maybe will be enough. These stack. I think you can get 9 in perhaps. Let's find out, shall we? Let's get some. I can never remember whether it's 10 or 12. Right, how many can you? This doesn't feel helpful. 6 are to go. Okay. Definitely going to need to do not 6, 12 are to go. Looks like. So I'm going to need more points to help. I'm going to get these in. Keep the 4 because I don't really want to be things. So those all need setting going, and then we need to probably find fire clay. As I say, I don't know whether that's red clay. I don't know whether I've found any fire clay down through this teleporter or not. Have to have a good look, won't I? Fire clay. Yeah. Right, can we get there from here? We're going to have to try and sail around the bottom here, aren't we? I think. But first things first, we need to get these cooking. So let me sort that out. I'll be back in a second. I just realised that the wind has picked up, so let's go and take advantage of it quickly while we can. Before I put those on to cook, they can cook in the background. They're not going to. Hello, piggy. They're not going to cook any faster, whether I'm here or wandering around in my boat. So, yeah, there's a. You can see that's why I didn't want to. To run this unattended, because they drop out in places. Right, I should have a scythe so we can gather two birds with one stone. You know, let's take advantage of our time up here and grab what we need for our fire pits. We've got plenty of wood and everything. Sticks, yeah, sticks might be a problem. We'll find out. I know how to make sticks though, so that's not a problem. Yeah, so I'll be back in a moment. Alright, and we are empty. Right, we can leave that. I have got more grass to pick up. I've got plenty, so that was not a problem, and we can get that going. I'll stack those bricks that we haven't done off to one side while we go and get some more fire clay. I think that's got to be my next mission once we've set these fires going. I am tempted, just because I don't trust fire pits, to change these blocks out for something that doesn't burn. I don't think it'll make a difference, but if it's going to burn, it's going to burn. But need to go and grab some stickage and some firewood, and we can get these going. So I'll get that sorted, be back in a sec. Alright, we've set those running. I have got some more healing stuff and some bits and pieces, and that does also count as food, so handy. I think we are largely empty in here. I did hear that, but oh, there it is. There's my tent bag for that. Obviously used a wee bit of food up there. I mean, that shiver might be on the surface, but we are going to grab our boat. But because I don't know how this is going to, I can't pick the boat up. The boat is, for all intents and purposes, an immovable object. So what we are going to do is we are going to pick up our canoe, and then we're going to take our canoe with us on our trip. It is dark, but that's fine. We're going to head out of here and we're going to basically head down to there and see whether we can circumnavigate round here. I don't know the answer to that, but we'll find out. I'll see you in a short while. Alright, the sun is coming up. We're here, and I just noticed over there that is a stair dungeon, which is a good source of books, and there's a ruin there which is potentially a good source of books. My eternal hope, optimism, is that we will inadvertently just stumble across some fire clay without having to go overly far. But I realise that is also somewhat optimistic. I could do with landing as well, just to see if I can't snag a few, scavenge a few snacks, because I brought 32 rusks with me, and that's pretty much it. So I am going to be scavenging this thing. That's red clay, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, hello. That's just red. Yeah, we'll mark it anyway. We need to know where these things are for future reference. Obviously over there is a mine shaft, which we are not interested in. This is more red clay. Again, not overly useful. But keep my eyes open for food. Foodies, if I can find anything that I can snack on that will extend my rusk supply, then we're laughing. That's still red clay. So I can eat that. It's not the best, but at least I can eat it. Not sure whether you can actually eat. So can you eat soya beans? No, you can't. I've got those growing at home. I didn't think you could eat them, but always worth a check. If you're not sure whether you can eat something, try it. That's a technique which has served people well for many, many years, as they never poisoned themselves. Salt, bean aids, phone. Nothing in there. Beeswax, not over. Oh, resin will take. Firewood, more. Oh, hello. We'll definitely take that. I'm not worried about tin. Rock walker mask will cut down for. Will you? Do these cut down? No, they don't. But That will. And we'll keep the saddle blanket. You never know when half of this stuff will be useful. Sunflower seeds. No, thatch. Not useful to me at all. Yeah, not bothered about a torch. Not bothered about you. Anything over this side? I mean, the brilliant if you want tiles, these are quite useful little finds. Peasant headscarf, we'll put that up. So yeah, not a lot going on here, but we'll check it out. We'll make sure that we give it a fair crack of the whip and see if there's anything worthwhile, and then we'll pop over to that stair ruin, which is probably going to be the better source for us. Yeah, nothing in there. Casual grave robbing. Right, what we got going on up here? Oat, hello, oat or note? No, so far. Yeah, nout. Nout worth writing home about. Okay, well that's a disappointment. We've got a couple more ruins. Lots of firewood if I wanted it, but to be honest, not a great deal of... Ooh, hello. No, not a great deal of use to anybody. Wow, the chests in this are full and brimming over with goodies, aren't they? Helve hammer base. I'm not that bothered. I'll get it through that way. Just throw yourself in. That's always the answer, isn't it? When in doubt, just chuck yourself straight in and hope that something doesn't want to eat your face. So I think, well, God, good grief. These diagonal ladders are a bit of a pain. Painting. Yeah. Jailer's belt. I think we can. Yeah, I think we can just forget everything else. Wasn't as lucrative as it might have been, but there you go. That's the way these things come out sometimes, isn't it? Oh, hello. Did I check out this little ruin here? Don't think I did. And we'll chop you up for flax. Well, for thread, I should say, and that can go there. Right. Not really a great deal here. We'll mark it as searched and we'll move on. Trader up there. Oh, that is the ruin over there, but it's kind of out of my way. So yeah, we're going to mark it, and we can always go. I don't recognise that footprint, so that might be one that I've not seen, or I've not seen a lot of. I mean, I think we've probably seen most of the ruins by now, but if desperate, there's always Antuliops, which I may. Damn it, it didn't one-shot it though. Well, there will be potentially a food vessel in here. And then there's some food there. Sorry, baby, didn't mean to kill your mum, but you know, well, I did, if I'm honest. Which I am. And it was your mum as well. Good weight, which means there's some jerky. once it's dried. Not worried about the hides, but we can take the fat. The hides will just clutter up the space. Right, let me hunt around in here for the all-important buicks. 1, 2. Another one there, look. Can't really tell from this angle how deep this is. Let's have a little peek. Quite deep. I'm not that desperate that I want to go down there. Take your food. It's not the best food because food vessels are always just grain, but there you go. And anything else? Normally 4, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time hunting. Nah, it's not worth the effort. Ow, we nearly, I don't know why I out there, it didn't actually hurt. Right, yeah, we'll drop those off, drop that off, drop that off, and that off. Got a little bit to eat. We can drop off the dirts as we don't need them. We'll mark this as a ruin that we've not searched because we haven't. And we're going to head back on over here and continue on our mission. But I am going to just munch on this grain. Go back and get my boat. Oh, this is the wrong country, so I mean, considering how tropical this is, the forest should be a lot better around here. Right, we can just eat that. No, don't eat that yet, because it's not a thing. We can read a cooking book though, that's a thing. We've got level 5 in cooking skill, we've got some forestry, and 25 in combat. It's not enough to give me a level, but takes me closer. And I think processing, we've got cooking. What shall we go? 35% more. Faster. Shelf life. Perish only 75% as fast as normal. Happy meals. Very random valid ingredient. I think we'll go there. That's actually quite useful, having a slightly slower thing. Oh, hello, and there's some don't think we'll get much from these. Of course, we should have harvested them just because they up my farming skill, so that's all a good thing as well. Right, back in the boat. I'll be back in a bit. Alright, well, this is looking promising. We've come down from here. That's where we were. Not a lot sticking out on the map. There's another mine shaft over there, but there's a river running this way. There's also some ruins over there. There's a nice thing. This river seems to run in the direction we want. I did notice that over there looks to be some small ruins, which we will quickly check out. We are in hyena territory, so need to be aware of that. And of course, we've also hit termite territory, so if I were really, really desperate for food, we would be in a better position. Wow, that's a weird structure. Probably not going to be a huge amount here, but when you see these little ruins, sometimes you can find a clay vessel easily enough, like this one, look. And that could be, it's a farming vessel, which is not going to be great because it's going to be reeds. I did, I'm not worried about those. I did find some puffball mushrooms as well, which will prove to be handy, I'm sure. Yeah, there's not really anything worth detouring here for, so we'll go back and get my boat and continue onwards. But you know, always worth a little look when you see something that might just give you you know, a book, some extra skill points. And we'll just jump back in the boat. So from here we're going to run around there and then head down the river, I think. See where that takes us. Again, I'm still, you know, keeping my eyes open in the vain hope that we actually spot some fire clay closer to home, but I realise that that might not happen. So you know, we have to be realistic. They're not used to me, I can't eat them. But yeah, I'll carry on for a bit. See you in a moment. Well, a little bit further down the river. The river's actually pretty big and wide, so yeah, this is looking good. But there's something there. Again, this is not finding me fire clay, but all work and no play makes John a dull boy, and this counts as play. I don't know. I don't think it's anything exceptionally huge or, you know, really exciting, but it's a ruin, and if it's a ruin, it means that there might be a vessel or two. I'm not excavating. I'm not going into the hole. Let's try and find all of its hidden secrets malarkey. There's limits to how much I'm prepared to do for some of these hidden things, especially since you don't always get the goods. So I'm not seeing anything. I suspect there may be something buried, but again, how much effort do I want to put into that? That's pretty low. I'm more inclined to go hunting around on the dirt for any fire clay, which we're not seeing. So again, we know where there is some, but I'd like to find it before then if possible. Come on, you know you want to. No, okay, fine, don't then. Alright, onwards, back in a bit. Alright, we had to get off here. There's something we're not going to touch. But there's also ruin there and there, so they definitely need an investigate. And I noticed there's a few crops. This is getting a little, I mean, it's still very hot down here. Also trade a look, you know, which we should probably not try and throw a spear at. I'm not paying those for digging 272. That is actually, those are pretty good books, but yeah, it's I haven't got that much cash on me. So I just I saw some crops up here that were harvestable, but no, surface drifter, stay away from me. Not drifter, surface boat on. Biggie. But yeah, I thought we'd come over here because we've got across a lot of grassland, which gives you a chance of finding clay. So, yeah, it's kind of rule 101, clay forms in dirt, doesn't form in sand. So these are, it's well worthwhile coming out just to have the opportunity. I've already seen blue and red clay in this area, so there's always a chance. Yeah, we'll have that. Get rid of that. Don't want the seeds. So is that. I could have walked past half a ton of clay by now, of course, that's always a possibility. Some carrots, we'll have those. Again, foraging while we go, that's always the way. I'm not going to worry. Yeah, I suppose I can the odd bit. See, we're not going into the shopping mall. That would be so. I don't think it. I think so. I recently did this on the Rusty Gear server by myself, and I did it in my chainmail, and it was a lot less intimidating than previous things when I've gone having a look at it. So my consideration is, I think I got away lightly on the Rusty Gear server. I've seen tougher. I mean, there was a corrupt locust in there, but I've seen nightmare drifters, nightmare shivers in there when I've looked at these when I've been kind of playing around and scouting creatively. You know, is that the word we use? Yeah, well, I mean, obviously not scouting on a SMP creatively, but just when I've just been having a look around worlds, seeing what seeds we can get, you know, that kind of stuff. So that was somewhat of a consideration. That I think that I got off lightly, and I'm fairly certain if I were to go into on this one, I would not get off. I think that was a one-off. Parkour skills, my parkour skills are unparalleled, I tell you, unparalleled. Right, so we've got that. You're just a law book and some, yeah, there's nothing I want there. But there is that over there, look, so we've marked you. Don't know what that is. Nothing much going on over that way. There's a little set of ruins down there as well, but none of this. This is probably a good vantage point to try and see if we can't spot. That is red clay, isn't it? That's not fire clay. I'm going to have to go and have a look just to be on the safe side, I think. There's a ruin over there in that wooded area. There's a church and stuff over there with a gallows. I think I've seen that before. Quite a nice ruin there. And I'm not really seeing anything else that could be fire clay from here. I'm fairly certain that's red clay, but you know what, I'm going to go check it. Just because. I left the boat, just so I know where it is, I left the boat there. I haven't marked it because I left it on a bend on the edge. But yeah, I'll go and have a check out this clay. I'm pretty certain it's going to be just red clay. I don't think there's any reason to get excited about this. And I'll be back in a mo. Well, this was supposed to be a hunt for fire clay, and it's turned into more of a ruin hunt, to be honest. I can do both at the same time, honest. And I spotted this one on the map, so I've just come down there we've just come from here. There's a ruin there, there's another ruin there, there's another ruin down there, and then there's a ruin up here which would take us back up to there, which would then get me back to my boat. So, see, and we get to explore all of this wonderful terrain, which means that there's a better chance that we're going to find fire clay. I am sticking to that excuse. But I've got a digging book already. I'm not reading these, I'm just waiting till I've got, like, you know, a selection of stuff, and then we'll read them all at the same time, or when I run out of storage space, whichever happens first. I know there's one there, but I'm just going to check. And again, I'm not kind of digging these out. What do we get there? Sphalerite, don't really want it. Didn't I get a bulk? I did get a bulk. Okay, let me put you up there for a second. Get rid of Mr. Svala. Right, what did we get there? Mining 50. Okay, that's not bad. You behave yourself, Mr. Piggy. We'll let you live. Or Mrs. Piggy. You might be a Mrs. Piggy. What were you? I don't know. I'm not going to sit there and argue with a pig that close. Partial. Might have to now. Hang on. We got away with it. Part of the reason I don't want to argue with a piggy is my armour's absolutely battered. I need to replace it. Yeah, not seeing anything there. I mean, again, it was an interesting little ruin, but I could excavate it. There's a lot more I could do, so I'm going to kind of head that way. There's a little one over that way, and then we'll head down there, and then we'll kind of start heading back towards the boat. And I will try. It's red clay. They've all been red clay so far, no fire clay whatsoever. But I think I'm probably in the wrong area for fire clay. Never certain. Fire clay's elusive. But there's a little ruin around here. Look, just a bit of one, which, as I say, I'm not going to be digging all of this lot up. Look. That's not bad though. I can eat that. There's a thing, and there's some flint which we don't want. So yeah, finding honey is not a bad find. So we're here. We've done that one. How much do I want to do that one? If I go that way, I'm going to spot something. Yeah, go on, sod it. We can always sleep the night away, should we? See? Just as well that I came this way. There's a couple more vessels. A food vessel, which had just food, no things. And another food vessel, which just had food. Still, let me quickly head down here, and then we'll head back towards the boat. I'll probably have to sleep at some point, but if nothing else, just because it will make spotting clay at night is going to be impossible, because I'm not going to be able to see anything other than what's in my immediate torchlight area. So we'll have to have a snooze at that point. Be back in a moment. This is quite a nice ruin. I mean, it's just another one of the village ruins, which there are multiple variations of, but this one looks quite a bit more intact than other ones we've encountered. Blue clay, yeah. Every kind of clay except the one we want. I don't think these a lot of nice bits and pieces of these are brilliant if you're in a building game, obviously, which we are, but I'm not in a building mode. These places can be absolutely awesome. Got all sorts of good stuff, but of course good stuff that I don't need, because I'm not going to be building anything significant. So that's a nice good sized build there. We'll just check out this ruin. Not found anything much of anything other than well, I've not found anything. Hello, chicken. Easy way of getting a sneak over or sneak in. So you should be able to stand on those lips. That's what you should be able to do, where those beams are. Not seeing any chesticles. So we've got another ruin there. Then we've got the main build here. Check this out. Again, a little bit of salvageable fabric, but other than that, I mean, there's nothing I want there, so I realise some people might be, don't cut up all the clothes, you might want to wear them. It's like, nah, I'm good. We'll have rid of you. We've got 3 books to read, and we've got this structure here, which is largely intact. Oh, and we've got friends. Okay, quite a lot of friends. Hi. I'm stuck. Okay, I'm stuck on the ladder. I see. Three friendos. Oh, come on. Oh, this is bloody ludicrous. Tell you what, let's try and have a look upstairs first. They're not doing anything, so this diagonal ladder is painful anyway. Nothing on that floor. Might be able to cut that up. Yeah. It's actually maybe one I shouldn't have cut, but I quite like the squire belt, but there you go. Right, now I can oh, come on. Right. Now we can deal with our friends. There was quite a lot of them, wasn't there? Again, not going to bother looting them. Don't see anything really worthwhile. Well, it promised so much and delivered so little. Still, it's an experience. Why was you in your invulnerable bush? That's unfair. Yeah, we've done that. Right. Ruin complete. So from here we are heading that way. Oh, maybe head that way actually. Ah, oh, this is not boding well, is it? I just don't seem to be able to. Yeah. That moment where the piggy realises that they done messed up. Like, oh, hang on, no, he's got a spiky thing. Right, I'll be back in a second. Alright, we aren't going anywhere near that. That's a bellhead shivering there. I only escaped vaguely with my life the last time. That's, I'm not here for that kind of adventure. We'll mark it. It's a ruin, it's green, and it's unsearched, and I ain't going anywhere further than that. That's as much as I want to know about that one. Not in this armour anyway. Oh, all the wrong clay, just constant. I mean, as I say, I know where there is some, it's just not here. I was really hoping to avoid having to go all that way. Plus I don't know whether I can actually even get there using this route as a thing. Anyway, let's push on, because we've got that last village here next to the shopping mall, and then we'll go back to the boat, I think, and then we can push on a little bit further up the river. We do know now that that river from here splits, and I've got to make a decision whether I follow it up that way, which is probably going to get me to here, but don't forget I need to get to here, or do I follow it that way and hope that we can get out over here somewhere? Difficult choice, especially seeing as this thing is being a tightwad and it is not giving me the things I deserve. Which is basically fire clay. I deserve fire clay. I've looked hard for it. Okay, I'll be back in a moment. Yeah, I've definitely seen this ruin before. It's actually quite a nice one. I think it's one of the newer ruins. It has the vibe of the village about it, which would, you know, make it a newer thing. Now, I've already got... Did I pick up one of those? I'm going to pick it up anyway. As well as a little bit of that. I've got capacity, let's have it. But yeah, it's definitely... I thought that was something waiting to kill me. Oh, a heavy belt. I'm tempted on that one. Reindeer waist belt, okay. Great step mantle, not bothered about pens. We will take your fire clay. I'm not really that worried about most of the rest of the stuff there. We'll take your cog, your gear, and we'll have that one. That's a handy. In fact, we can have that as well, because I can carry two of those, can't I? They'll stack. Right. So the last thing where we haven't been, apart from going in there, which that always looks like a bell to me. See, this feels like there should be something underneath it. But I don't think there is. And there's obviously nothing going up, it's just a very big building. Doesn't seem... no real giveaway clue, is there, that there's something hiding there. Well, we've done it. We can mark this one as complete and have done with. There is a little tiny bit of something just down there which might have a vessel in it, but we really probably need to be thinking about heading back now, getting the boat and pushing on, because this is not getting me any closer to having the fire clay I need, other than an initial 21. So yeah, I think we're going to head back to the boat now. I'll see you when we get there. Alright, well, we're back at the boat. We are going to continue up the river, and I think I am going to push this way for starters. Oh yeah, I marked that as not done because I didn't do it. That's a good reason not to do something, isn't it? And I'm going to hope that we still have a chance of finding some fire clay around in here, but looking increasingly like I may have to park the boat somewhere, go on foot and then take the canoe, which is not the end of the world. It just means I have to come back to the boat, and then yeah, it's going to be a bit of a pain getting home, let's put it that way. But yeah, red clay. Yeah, I think on that note, I'm going to call this an episode. I may sail on a little bit, so when we start next episode we're a bit further along, but other than that, until next time, thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you soon, and bye for now.